Thank you, Miles de Benedictus. Miles, and some others, but especially Miles, have really been pushing me lately challenging me to bring insights and wisdom on how to navigate the storm clouds that appear to be on the horizon. How do we navigate these things and succeed? Recognizing that we live in a media era when there is so much provocative information out there. And it seems often so legitimate, so serious that it would require a response on our part. Not only how do we navigate, how do we filter what requires a response? Recognizing that many times the agenda is to sell something. And first off, when the agenda is to sell something, when the agenda is to give you an answer to the solution, you need to be wary of that because often the cure is worse than the disease. But we also recognize, because of the way social media works, so much of this provocative information is purely to drive views. That's how they survive. That's how they're compensated. And so what happens? Issues that, frankly, many times have no impact on the average person come across as so serious and requiring a response purely to drive views. So how do we navigate this? So we will be periodically bringing, based on both what I think is important, but also requests that we get, responses, examining, breaking things down to an understandable level and recognizing how we respond. But we need to start with understanding storms and mindsets. See, many people, when we recognize a storm is legitimate, they don't want to hear about it. They want to bury their head. They just want God to make it go away. And the reality is we need to respond in wisdom. In fact, there's this great moment when David is in the process of being made king. And it talks about all the mighty people who are being drawn to him, mighty warriors. But it says something interesting. It talks about the sons of Issachar. And it said they understood the times and had knowledge of what to do. So how do we respond? So we will look at what are things that we don't need to be concerned about, but the ones that we do require response on our part. And the first response is to apply wisdom, not to respond in fear, to ignore it, but to successfully navigate it. And as I often say, don't let a good crisis go to waste. How can we not just navigate it, but succeed in the process? So we apply wisdom. How do we do our best to prepare? To not just ignore issues, but take preparation caution. Having said that, though, recognizing we can never fully prepare, and that's actually a good thing, that we still need to rely on, put our confidence and our trust in God. So we apply wisdom. We take whatever appropriate action we can to prepare, but at the same time, we also go to God and put our trust and confidence in Him to navigate that storm. Just like you would batten down the hatches, so to speak. We do all that we can, but recognizing the wind and the waves are completely beyond our control. And in the process, though, I'm a huge believer in God has told us not only not to have a spirit of fear, but He's also told us that all things will work to the good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. So where is the good that's coming out of the storm? Where's the blessing? And so one of the things I look at, and I challenge you to do, is when we go to God and we put our confidence, we've done what we can to prepare, we're putting our confidence in Him, we also at the same time are then asking Him to show us where the opportunity is, where's the blessing? That in spite of how severe the storm may seem, where is the blessing for us and how are we to respond to it? And all of that starts with preparation. It starts with having the correct mindset, that we're approaching this not out of fear, but out of wisdom, both to protect ourselves and to be a blessing to others. So we will post periodic updates where we take a sober look at the issues, the ones that both I think you need to be aware of and sorting through some of the requests we do receive. We will take that sober look at what are the issues and some of the ways we can move in wisdom. But it starts with our mindset. And that is recognizing that we don't want to respond in fear, that we generally will lose out on that process. But also where we can practically apply wisdom and then combine that with putting our trust in God in the process to see not just a positive outcome, but to truly succeed. Final thought along those lines, if you'd like to check out more, we did a very short 4-episode series called Responding to Economic Upheaval. It's available both on the free God Powered app and on YouTube, where we look at how do we respond practically, both how we apply our faith, why we should have a positive expectation, and the steps we can take. Go check that out.